illnesses such as teenagers' acne, prostate, breast, ovarian, and uterine cancers, many chronic diseases common in Western societies, as well as male reproductive disorder. From an increased risk of early puberty to endometrial cancer in older women. But hormonal levels in food could be particularly dangerous in the case of vulnerable populations, such as younger children and pregnant women, in which even a small hormonal intake could have major changes to their metabolism. Look, dairy evolved to put a few hundred pounds onto a calf in a matter of months. The consequences of lifetime human exposure to these growth factors in milk has not been well studied. We know milk consumption increases IGF-1, which is linked to cancer, and we're milking cows while they're pregnant, resulting in particularly high levels of hormone. And this is a publication of co-authored by Dr. Walt Willett, Chair of Nutrition at Harvard. Although dairy products are an important source of hormones, other products of animal origin must be considered as well. This may explain why women can cut their risk of breast cancer by more than half by just not being overweight and limiting alcohol, but not just those things, but also eating foods mostly of plant origin. To help differentiate the effects of other lifestyle behaviors like smoking and drinking on overall cancer incidence, Adventists were compared to Baptists. See, both religious groups discourage alcohol and tobacco, but Adventists go further and encourage a reduction in meat. In general, the Adventists had less cancer than the Baptists, and within Adventist populations, who did best? Those, the vegetarians, complete vegetarians did better, and those eating the most plant-based of diets, the vegan diets, did the best in terms of cancer risk. All edible tissues of animal origin contain estrogen. This may explain why women who avoid all animal products have a twinning rate which is 1/5 that of vegetarians and omnivores. It appears that vegan women have 5 times fewer twins, presumed to be because they're not exposed to all these hormones in their daily diet. Now, why is that a good thing? Because twin pregnancies are risky pregnancies, both for the mom and for the baby, who may be 10 times more likely to die at birth. So to avoid these complications, women attempting conception, women trying to get pregnant, may want to consider avoiding milk and dairy products for that reason alone. And this isn't even talking about the synthetic hormones that are fed, injected, and implanted into farm animals. In 1979, an epidemic of breast enlargement was found in a cohort of Italian children. Poultry and veal was suspected, given that the estrogens were fed to farm animals to accelerate their weight gain. So after this episode, Europe banned the use of anabolic growth promoters in agriculture and banned the importation of North American meat ever since, because we continue to inject animals with drugs like Zeranol, which is sold as Ralgro Magnum, a drug that's used extensively here in the Canadian meat industry.
What?
You drip Zeranol containing blood from implanted cattle onto normal breast cells, not cancer cells, normal breast gland cells in a petri dish, and you can transform them into breast cancer within 21 days. But people are not petri dishes. And because these anabolic growth promoters in meat production are by far the most potent hormones found in human food, we really should be testing people, especially young children, before and after they eat meat. I mean, until then, we have no idea what kind of threat these new synthetic hormones play. though the fact that zeranol is as potent as DES should concern us. DES is a synthetic estrogen marketed to pregnant women, all pregnant women, until 1971, when it was shown to cause cancer of the vagina in their daughters. But it was also used in meat. Many people don't know that. In the absence of effective federal regulation, the meat industry uses hundreds of these animal feed additives with little or no concern about their cancer-causing and other toxic effects. Illustratively, after decades of misleading assurances about the safety of DES in the meat supply, we finally banned it some 40 years after it was first shown to be cancer-causing. The meat industry then promptly switched to other potentially carcinogenic additives, such as this Valbro Magnum. When girls started dying from vaginal cancer, DES-treated meat was subsequently banned in Europe. However, misleading assurances, including the deliberate suppression of residue data showing DES still present in the meat, managed to delay a ban in North America on DES for another 8 years. Today, virtually the entire population here consumes without warning, without labeling, without information, unknown and unpredictable amounts of these hormonal residues in meat products over a lifetime. If all hormonal and carcinogenic feed additives aren't banned immediately, at least, the least we could do is label them along with hormone residues in all meat products, including milk and eggs. There should be a label. This is how much estrogen this has. This is how much testosterone this has. Speaking of eggs, the next on the list of dreaded diseases